All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you a post Walking Dead live stream. Everybody should be just wrapping up right now, so I expect people to kind of join in as time kind of goes on here. After the Walking Dead season 10 finale, or what was supposed to be the finale, and ended up sort of just being like episode 16 because they went ahead and extended it. So, oh man. I just listed the review about 15 minutes ago, and I take it that everybody's pretty much, seeing it, and so should be good stuff, man. Michael Dilly had said earlier the most disappointing episode ever. So I guess not everybody loved it because it was a bit of a wait. But like I said in my review, I have to keep in mind, and we all have to keep in mind, that when they shot this episode, when they did this episode, they had no idea that it was going to be a 6-month build up to the release of this episode. They did this episode just like any other episode, just like it was, it was just a regular type of deal. So, The Undertaker 2024 said it was horrible, so disappointed. Game of Thrones us. Well, I mean, maybe now that everyone's seen it, I guess we can talk about it without worrying about spoilers. But the beta kill, right? So the beta kill with Negan and Daryl, I was hoping to see a little bit more there. That's for sure, because I felt like that was a really pivotal moment in the series. And yes, Daryl killed him almost like it was nothing, and then afterwards, Negan's like, "You know who that was?" Basically nobody or no one. So that probably could have been done a lot better, I want to say. So, but it is what it is, and what can you do? The meteorological eclipse said, Trev, it was a good episode. I agree. It should have been beta fight, or it should have been a beta fight that we saw. I would have liked some back and forth with the beta fight. So maybe instead of doing it the way they did it, we start off by having Negan come down with the whisper stuff on, dragging a Lucille or a bat of some kind. It doesn't have to be like the original wooden one, but just some kind of a bat of some kind. And then the rest of it plays out pretty much the same. But instead of maybe Negan saying like, "Hey, shithead," or whatever he says to Beta there, instead of that, maybe it would have been cooler if he would have just kind of seen him, and maybe in slow-mo we see him come in with the bat, and I guess it would have to be wooden, and crack him right over the back with it, and something like that, like a sneak attack sort of on Beta. And then you do similar to the comics where maybe the bat breaks, so he hits him with the bat breaks, and then after Beta's still coming and he's fighting Negan, and a little bit of back and forth there for a minute or so, maybe some slow-mo if you can do it, and then he beats Negan down, and right before he's about to kill him, then you have Daryl come in and slash him, and so he's really injured. But instead of having Daryl kill him right away, then you have Beta come back at Daryl, you have Negan intervene, you have some back and forth, and then finally you have Daryl kill him. But the thing is I think in terms of their filming time, they only have like a certain amount of time to film it, and they did everything else with the episode, like the huge zombie herd outside, the nighttime scenes, the daybreak, and everything like that with the cliff. And so they did so much. They had Maggie come back. They had all this other stuff going on. But I do have to agree that it would have been cool if we could have seen just maybe a little bit more with the Beta fight. I do agree with that. I think that would have been a little bit better if there was a little bit more with the Beta fight with Daryl and Negan. I got to admit. Hey, Bo, how you doing, man? And yo, Durkee, what's up, man? So, USA, as Jeremiah said. Hello, Trev. I'm still praying for you. God bless you, bro. Leo from Denver. Thank you for your prayers. Leo from Denver. I appreciate it. And mine, same back to you. in what is kind of a dark time to be alive right now this year, for real. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Well, Johnny. The thing is, Johnny, is that I had set the review to premiere. So at that time, so that's probably true. A lot of people are watching the review. Are there two Trevs? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Watch out if they replace me and my eyes change color. But maybe I shouldn't joke about that. Yeah, take care of you, says Jeremiah. Thank you, man. Yeah, that's true. So that started at one Trev is enough. Yeah, that's true, Blitz. One of me is enough. That premiere started at 9:45, so that should be done pretty soon. In a few minutes here, that should be wrapped up for that premiere of that one. But all right, what's going on, Blitz? Yeah, you got it, man. So I got my NWO mask. Yeah, so really cool. So I wear it around. It comes with different filters and stuff, which is really sweet, which is really cool. So it's it's really cool, man. I like to wear it because it's like calling it what it is, right? It's like that's what these are. Our masks, like these are New World Order masks that we're all forced to wear as we all walk around. This is global New World Order, baby. New World Order. Yeah. So Arnell, well, for the character deaths, so we did our predictions for which ones we thought would be killed off. I think I had said basically that Beta, so we got that one right. Beta was, spoiler warning, killed off in this episode. So that's his final episode in The Walking Dead. And then in addition to Beta being killed off, we also, well, that's pretty much it. We had Beatrice, right? So that's something. She's an Oceanside girl from almost even, I'm going to say forgettable, but she never had like a big role in the series, right? She never had a huge role. So there was Beta's and then hers. And then that's basically it. So I did expect to see some more character deaths during this final battle of the Whisperers story. I was expecting maybe to see Gabriel, and they almost did it. But then Maggie comes in to rescue at the last minute, which I was okay with, because at that moment when you see Gabriel go down and you see the Whisperers come at him, it feels like at that very moment that that Gabriel's going to be killed. Like that's, at least when I was watching it, I felt like at that moment Gabriel was going to be killed off right then by those Whisperers. They were going to get him, and they didn't. So that was good with the Maggie kind of save. So I thought that was handled well. I'm happy that Gabriel lives with a Maggie save, because I was actually thinking they were just going to kill him. So that was a bit unpredictable for me. So I thought it turned out pretty good. Beatrice is something. Beta certainly is the big character death of this episode, and that wraps up the Whispers. Yeah, that's the end for the Whispers. The Whispers are finished in the Walking Dead television series from the looks of things. Unless we see like a little offshoot group or something at some point in time, which I don't know, maybe in those 6 additional episodes, we could see some little Whisperer offshoot group. But for the most part, they're basically defeated, because once Beta is dead, once Beta is defeated, the whole group would disintegrate, basically. So you may have kind of an offshoot of the Whisperers with a small Whisperer faction in the future, but most likely, I mean, this is the end of the Whisperer War. This is the final kind of battle of the Whisperer War. And I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't disappointed with this episode at all. It was a crazy wait, but you know what? It's fine, because we didn't have much else going on. Like, I think this summer, all the way through since Walking Dead episode 15 ended, the only other series I think that anybody's really been checking out much is probably The Boys, out of what we're into, like in the channel. People have been talking about The Boys because I think JDM might be in season 3 of The Boys. So he plays Negan. So you're going to have Negan in The Boys in season 3, which is cool. So that's one series that people have been talking about a lot. But aside from The Boys, this whole year since the shutdown, there's been, basically nothing that I would say in terms of like other stuff that's released that I actually even care about. Like even the movies being pushed back and everything being pushed back. It was a wait, but at least Walking Dead gave us something to wait for, something to look forward to, and now we got to see that episode. Do keep in mind, we've got lots more episodes of World Beyond and, Fear to watch here. 7 episodes of Fear coming up, which is cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with Morgan, Red Eye, Morgan, which is cool. So So that's kind of good stuff that we're going to get that. So that's still 7 plus 9. That's still 16. Number nine. So that's still 16 episodes of Walking Dead coming up. So that's still a lot of Walking Dead scheduled. But I don't know how many people are really going to be into World Beyond, and how many people are going to actually watch it week to week. We'll see for the live streams what we're going to do. What I think we'll probably do is we'll watch Fear, and I'll do the review and all that stuff for it, and then we'll do a live stream after Fear during World Beyond, and then people who watch World Beyond live can maybe watch the live stream later, or can join the live stream maybe just near the end or second half of that. Yeah, Junior said, no New World Order arc starts, Trev. Yeah, so in the comic books, the group that shows up with the Commonwealth for Stephanie, Kirkman refers to as a New World Order, which is kind of cool. Then they've got the costumes and everything, like the white costumes and everything like that. But it feels to me more like from World Beyond, Elizabeth's group, the CRM with the Borromene rings, the 3 rings, that feels more like New World Order to me than the Commonwealth does. The Commonwealth actually seem like pretty good people and pretty good guys. They're not, the white outfits and everything. Unless they switch direction in the TV series, the Commonwealth seem like they're good. Now, we don't know if they're one of the groups that's feeding up to the CRM. I would probably think they're probably not. But keep in mind, we've got Maggie's group that she came from with Georgie. We've got Stephanie's group with Commonwealth. And then we've got CRM. So we have 3 communities that have just been introduced in The Walking Dead in basically what is one day in real world time, because World Beyond introduced the CRM, which we kind of knew a little bit about already from Rick. And then we get Maggie coming back, which brings her back in with Georgie's group, or what might be her group now. I don't even know if Georgie's still alive. I guess we'll see. And then there's the Stephanie Commonwealth group, which is out there too. So that's what this story arc in the Walking Dead comics is called. It's called New World Order. That's part of the reason why I'm wearing a New World Order shirt, and I have a New World Order sheet mask on over here. I actually bought this. Also because it's just cool, and it says it what it is, right? Like if I'm gonna wear a New World Order mask, then I'm gonna wear a New World Order mask. You know what I mean? so there's that. And I got the linking part too. If you guys don't know, we won't go too much into this stuff because it's a Walking Dead stream. But I got the book, Dr. John Coleman, The Committee of 300, Conspirators Hierarchy. This is basically about the New World Order. It's got the world in shackles. And so I was going through it to see what the good doctor had to say. And he was kind of an insider. He was able to sit he knew a lot of the people involved with the committee and with the one world government, or what you could also consider to be English aristocracy, or the royals in England. So he was in that anyway. He calls it out because he even goes into Ted Turner. And so I do like the New World Order. I've got New World Order right there with Hogan with the New World Order belt from the 90s. And so Dr. John Coleman, he finishes it the way I knew it was. I knew that New World Order storyline was not just a happenstantial case with the Masonic black and white. I knew it wasn't. And in the book, sure enough, the good doctor says it. Ted Turner started CNN, which is like the Pyramid Network, New World Order Network. And in the WCW, which Ted Turner also owned under Bischoff, they did the New World Order storyline. So it says right in here that Ted Turner was in, he'd be like a sub person, like a sub family. But, yep, Ted Turner was in it. And that's why you had New World Order, NWO black and white, Masonic black and white in WCW, with Hogan turning heel, becoming a villain and everything. So they took a hero and they heel turned him in that. So this has greater meaning than just, like be it some silly group in wrestling, or in Walking Dead we have New World Order. It's man, it's crazy stuff, the world that we're living in, but that's what it is. So you shouldn't be surprised. So so wrestling isn't just wrestling. But that's right. It wasn't. It was basically and you even have Scott Hall, because he does the crucifix, right? The razor's edge. So Scott Hall brings the person up, and then he puts them in a crucifix, and then basically he slams them down. So that's pretty. Just think about that for a second, right? New World Order, You bring him up, razor's edge, crucifix. The person goes out crucified and then down. That's his finishing move, basically. So that's it, man. New World Order. You got it exactly, and that's what the doctor says. The doctor. I believe he knew. Now he's got a little bit of different take on things than I do, but he has. I'll just wrap it up real quick here for you guys. But basically, in the Illuminated Degrees, or in what you could say New World Order is actually. He's got the Queen Elizabeth II, Her Majesty. He's got her at the top of the Committee of 300. So he's got her still up there and everybody else under her. So his angle is that royalty still rules. They just do it covertly. That's what he thinks from his research. So I don't necessarily agree with him 100% on that, but he's got his reasons for that. And he goes into the Royal Institute of International Affairs. And that being under the committee. Committee of 300 has been around for hundreds of years. He's also got the United Nations under the Committee of 300. So this here is United Nations. This is Committee of 300. So that's what it is. And he's got Zionism, communism, liberalism, socialism, all this other stuff underneath it. The intelligence agencies, Royal Institute of International Affairs, Tavistock, and then Club of Rome under that. And that's his conspirators hierarchy for the Committee of 300 in the way the good doctor lays it out. So I don't agree with him 100%, but he's got the names of the committee members, 300, and a lot of them are like, your English aristocracy, old families, your lords, your royal family, and everybody involved with that. And then he also has some of the banksters as well, too, in there, too. So we go through some of the names later if you guys want to. But this is a Walking Dead stream, so so that's what it is. But past and present members of the Committee of 300, sitting at the top, the doctor has Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And then also Her Majesty Queen Juliana, Her Royal Highness Princess Beatrix, Her Royal Highness Queen Margrethe, and lots of others here as well, too. So that's what he's got. So that's the way he sees it. So fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say they're not in there. They are. So, well, American Woman, we got sidetracked for literally 2 minutes. Okay, will you relax? So, will you chill? You relax, man. So, okay, what do we got here from you guys? Can you feature your book in your description so we can look it up, please? Janie, it's the Committee of 300 by Dr. John Coleman. Okay, Web Soak sent through a super chat. He said, the Commonwealth has 50,000 people population. What happens when they run into the CRM? I don't think they will be intimidated. Perhaps a Walking Dead Cold War. Yeah, exactly. Something like that will likely be the case, that when they run into each other, yeah, you would go with like a war of some kind. Now, I don't know how many people the CRM has. I guess they just wiped out 10,000 people out of their population, so they must have a lot. But I guess they figure if they can't have people on their side and subservient in the right way, then they're better off dead than being used. They're better off to just kill them. But yeah, we'll see what they do in the TV series versions. The numbers could change. We don't know, but based on the comics, yeah, the Commonwealth might have around 50,000 people, which is the group that Stephanie's a part of at the end of this episode. And then the CRM, the Civil Republic military, with Elizabeth and whoever else is there, they have, which is unknown. We don't know. But, if you go in terms of black and white, most likely Elizabeth's group is the evil group, and the Commonwealth, Stephanie's group with the white, soldier, stormtrooper outfits is most likely the good guy group. So that's most likely what we're looking at as far as that goes. But will we see a war between the two? I think so. Something like that. The movies should be involved in that as well. That'd be cool to see some kind of, American, Walking Dead American zombie apocalypse world war. Because I think Elizabeth also did mention the government. So the U.S. government still being kind of around in some kind of a way. But the whole thing is clandestine. The whole thing is secret. And the whole thing is locked up to where, you don't know their location. You don't know anything about them. So that's yeah, part of it. So good stuff. And yeah, a little bit like in real life, right? With our covert rule that we have, soft management covert rule, but it's all hidden. You have to actually search if you want to even know who's involved and who's guiding the United Nations. You have to actually go and search to find out who that is. And there's a there. Believe me, there are people guiding the United Nations. So yes, there are. You can call them the power elite. You can call them the uber elites. You can call them whatever you want. But they're mostly covert. They don't really. You have to dig if you want to know who they are. As I've gone over in the channel here many times this year, you can find out who they are, but you have to dig. You have to buy books. You have to read. You have to research, and then you can find out who the power elite are in real life to understand who's guiding the United Nations. And they're being guided, believe me, they are. Okay, so that's kind of a cool crossover with the CRM. It's all covert, right? It's all kept hush-hush and secret, which is smart. It's difficult to beat somebody when you don't even know who they are, you don't know where they are, you don't know what they have, you don't know anything. So yeah, good stuff. Meteorological Clip said, Trev, do you think that Kirkman will ever bring back a Walking Dead spin-off comic that lasts a good number of issues, maybe 24 plus? Yeah, for Meteorological, I do think that at some point Kirkman will bring back something Walking Dead in comics. Now, he did Negan Lives, which I've got right there. So there's Negan Lives. And so I thought Negan Lives was really good. I enjoyed it. You got some cool one-eye symbolism with Negan on the cover there. You've got Lucy, who's a character in Negan Lives, so that's also kind of cool. So Kirkman's a smart man. I guarantee you he can come up with some really good stuff. It's just a matter of, does he want to do it or not? And now that the lawsuits and that kind of stuff is over with, I don't know if he will want to do much more with Walking Dead, or if he's got a bad taste in his mouth because of how the lawsuit situation worked out with AMC. Maybe it's such that he's spent on it and he doesn't really care too much to do much more with it. So thank you again, WebSoak, for another super chat. Feel free to send any other questions you have afterwards, and I'll prioritize them. So WebSoak said, I hope they do a scene in New York City since it has New York in the plot. Times Square full of walkers, hordes of zombies that prowl in the subway, blowing up buildings. Yeah, you're right, man. It would be so cool, Web, to see New York City. If we could see it in World Beyond, that would be amazing. I also like the idea of them being out on a mission, not having a home to go back to really, and them, going to try to save their dad. It does set it up for a good kind of environmental series in terms of being on the road. They've also said the same thing about the Daryl and Carol series, which is that it might be on the road. It might be going from place to place. And I think that could be really cool to see in The Walking Dead, but I do think it could be very difficult to do. So we'll see how that turns out in this episode. But or in these episodes for World Beyond, but I always thought it was fun anytime Walking Dead did stuff where they were on the road. You're absolutely right that New York, of all places, New York would be so cool to see in the zombie apocalypse, just because of their population alone. It's so dense and so many people there. It's like, oh, he's in New York City. We don't know where exactly, but we'll go there. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, you guys have any idea how big New York is? It's like, and how many walkers there would be there? Just so many. Yeah, I Am Legend zombies. Yeah. Yeah, Logan said, I agree, but AMC screwed him over. Yeah, I don't know in terms of like what it looked like between Kirkman and AMC, what he got out of the deal, what he got out of Walking Dead, what he got out of Fear, what he got out of Talking Dead, maybe nothing. So I don't know. I guess, I think he did say at one point in time, Kirkman said that he hadn't gotten paid for Walking Dead for like a few years or something, or a couple years. Maybe it has to do with profit sharing on the show itself or something. And maybe the profit sharing on the show itself, due to the roster, is pretty low or something. And so he was upset that he doesn't get kickback or other additional from Fear and from Talking Dead and from maybe, I don't know, replays or something, or AMC Premiere, AMC Plus, all these add-on services they've kind of done. So it's a bit like football. If you guys don't know, for NBC and for the football networks, they get to have on, or whoever's carrying whatever team or playoffs or Super Bowl or whatever. They actually, I think, they have to pay so much for it. They almost make no money on showing the football itself, but they do it because it brings so many viewers to their network that they can have shows before and afterwards, pre-shows, post-shows, all that stuff. And even though they make almost nothing on the actual games themselves, it brings so many viewers in that it pumps all their other stuff. So maybe it's possible that Walking Dead is a little bit like that for AMC in terms of the cost to produce Walking Dead and to do it. It brings in your viewers, and then maybe they make a lot of their profit from Talking Dead, which doesn't cost anything to do, really, hardly anything. Fear, World Beyond, other stuff like this, and then any other shows that are on in and around it, or however many times they replay it. Maybe that's the case. So maybe Kirkman doesn't really get paid for Walking Dead TV series anymore because it's like a football type of deal where it's costs a lot to produce, it brings viewers, and then the other stuff is what really is going to be profitable for them. So maybe, so you could say in a way, like people say, well, Kirkman's getting screwed over, whatever. It's like, well, I don't know. We don't know what he got out of it. So I think he did say he makes more off the comics, but then again, having the series like that is going to pump your comics like crazy. So, and anytime he ever does Walking Dead in the future, also it's going to be pumped like crazy. So, it's a give and take. It's a hard series to make. So I don't know. Where's fair in that process? I don't know what you consider to be fair in that. Did Kirkman get a fair shake or not? I don't know. That's up to you to kind of decide. Blitz Game says, would Stephen Yeun come back for Tales of the Walking Dead, Trev? He seemed kind of upset and distanced himself from the show after Glenn's death. So, yeah, I think you're right. I don't think we'll see Stephen Yeun back in Walking Dead. Maybe if they offer him enough cash, he'll do it for Tales of the Walking Dead. That would be cool. I'd like to see that. But the Walking Dead anthology spinoff series. But I kind of doubt it. I don't think I don't think he'll want to do it unless, granted with COVID and everything, if it's lucrative enough, maybe he'll do it anyway. But I don't think he really wants to. So I don't think he wants to return as Glenn, because they probably also offered him a return opportunity for the TV series to do a couple scenes or something for Maggie or something. And he's probably said no. But I hope he'll change his stance on that at some point, because I'd like to see him come back. Even the ghost of Glenn or something would be cool for Maggie, just to be there or whatever. That could be sweet if they work that out well. But maybe he doesn't want to do it, which is, that's fair enough. Look at what happened with his last scene. It was like the most brutal scene. And what people were calling it after they saw the season 7 premiere, they were calling it like the most brutal thing in cable television history. So, he's earned his stripes. If he doesn't want to come back as Glenn ever, even in Tales, then fine. But as a fan, I'd love to see him back. So we'll see. We'll see. But he's going to be doing the voice for Invincible in Kirkman's animated series Invincible, which I think is going to be on Amazon. So I could be wrong on that, but I think so. So and Stephen Yeun's been busy. He's got lots of other stuff he's been in and stuff like that. So I'm happy for him. But yeah, if he doesn't want to do Walking Dead anymore, that's absolutely his right. It was a brutal death for sure that Glenn had to go through. Psychologically, that would be very, very difficult to go through. I think so. Jen Christian said Stormtroopers was pretty high tech for the time. Wasn't buying it. Hilarious though. So you mean the Commonwealth soldiers in the white gear with the red? Yeah, they're pretty high tech considering. But then again, it's been like 10 years of the zombie apocalypse, so not everybody has had a really tough time like Rick and the others have. Some people would have, just in terms of luck, had an easier go at it, I think, and things could have been easier for them. So maybe they would be able to do that. Bandit said, I posted a comment in your World Beyond review. Would you be able to check it out? Post it here for me, Bandit. Do consider we've got about 150 people here, and they all want to talk, so let's do that. Post it here if you want to see. AMC, always more cliffhangers. What did you guys think about Connie returning with Virgil? Did you think that was pretty good? I thought that was all right. So we'll see with Connie what they do with her next season and the six episodes. Could be fun. So Trevor H. Howard had said, we have to wait a long while for season 11. Well, they're working on it now. So most likely, if we're in October now, they have November, December, January, February. We'll probably see those 6 episodes maybe around March or maybe April, maybe February, but that's kind of early. March, April, probably. Something like that. It's only 6 episodes. So February, March, or April, somewhere around there, I'm predicting. So I could be wrong in that, but that's what I'll go with. I don't know how long it takes them to edit it and do all that stuff, but something like that. Yeah, and I did enjoy the finale. It wasn't a letdown for me. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Let's see what we got. What we got here for you guys. Okay. What do you think there will be in the 6? Yeah, When There Were Wonders. Yeah, I really have no idea what they're going to do in those 6 additional episodes. For Not the One, next coming up for Walking Dead is 6 episodes early 2021, and then the 11th season. So those are technically, they're counting it as season 10, 6 additional. Then after those 6 episodes, they're going to do 24 episodes of season 11 starting in that fall next year. So in the fall, the autumn next year, a year from now, basically, season 11 will start, and it'll be a 24-episode season. The additional 6 episodes will be coming up in early 2021. Like I said, probably around February, March, April, something like that. Yeah, the youngster said, hey, Trev, it was good, except the beta death. We waited all that time for that. Shaking my head, they could have just given to us back in March, WTF. So, yeah. Well, I think what happened to youngster is, you know the scene where Lydia throws the mask off and all the walkers go over the cliff? I bet they didn't finish editing that before COVID happened. So I don't think they were lying or anything. Some people thought, oh, they're lying, they haven't, whatever. I think, no, I think that editing those effects and doing all the effects of the walkers going over and the mask going down and making it look really good and legit and everything, Carol and the sunshine and all that, I just think that editing probably took a long time, and they hadn't quite finished it up yet by the time COVID hit. So that's why I think they had to go extra. Now, after the lockdown, they probably finished it in a few weeks or so. And then at that point, it was like into like the summertime. And they decided, well, why don't we just keep it for October and release it in October as like a usual season of Walking Dead, you know, which makes sense. You know, I support that decision. They could have released it in the summertime, but nobody would have watched it. If they released it during the summer, no one would have watched it at that time. Summer viewers, you don't get nearly as many viewers during the summer. And so, you know, it just makes all the sense in the world to save it for a fall release like they did, which we're used to every year anyway. So I was okay with that. I was okay with them waiting until the fall to show it, because by the time they finished it, I think it was like July or something. It was around Comic-Con time anyway. So it makes sense that they waited a while. LJ34100 said, whispers just like White Walkers, build up to something to end in an hour episode. Well, we had all the stuff with Alpha, which was cool. The stuff with Beta afterwards I thought was really good, but they didn't keep like the Alpha death to the very end. You know, they spread out the action throughout the episodes. We have had seasons where there have been a lot of episodes that were just lax, or they were just like, you know, not very good episodes. And then we'd have all the action at once, like Too Far Gone, for example, with the governor. So we would have several episodes of not all that much happening. And then all of a sudden, one huge episode where it's like the sky's falling and tank. I have a tank, and I'm like, you know, walk away from here. So, you know, a tank is pretty cool, right? So, but, you know, it's like, well, you can save everything up for one episode, or you can break it up sporadically. And that's kind of what they do now, which I like it. I mean, 16 episodes is a lot. So you got to keep that. You got to keep that in mind too. Hey, Skiva, welcome, man. I hope you like the finale. Yeah, the beta death was very fast. It was too fast. I have to admit, it was too fast. But you know, it's like, well, yeah, he had a good enough run anyway. And there was the the fight between Beta and Daryl last season. You guys remember that? That was better than this fight. This one was a little too quick, but they did a lot of stuff in the episode, so it was just part of it, really. It wasn't the main selling point of the episode, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more, maybe a slam or two out of Beta on Negan or something, body slam or something. I don't know. Something like that would have been cool, or a loose seal in the back, but, they didn't do that. It's okay. Daryl looks even more unstoppable now than ever because he killed Beta without too much trouble. So it was good for Daryl, I guess. Trev, Starlight on the boys. Oh, Chris. I know no response to that one, Chris. You always get me in trouble, man. It's like not this time. You're not catching me this time, man. No, I don't think so. Not this time. No. I will do the silence. I'll do the silence thing, right? So there you go. Yeah, there it is, man. No comment there, man. So isn't it awful wearing these things everywhere you go, guys? You can't hear shit, and the person can barely communicate with you. It's like, oh, it's awful, but what are you gonna do? There's nothing you can do. You gotta wear it. They force us to, so it's what it is. Sorry, Trev. Be careful, says Chris. Yeah, yeah. Nobody died. Jackson, loose. Nobody important. Well, Beta's death was pretty important. That was a big one. Granted, it was a little bit predictable. We knew that Beta would likely be killed off soon. I thought it might be in those 6 additional episodes, but it wasn't. Maybe the 6 additional episodes will be like them rebuilding after this whole thing happened, finding a new home. Imagine if they even left and went to join Maggie's group or something. That could be kind of cool because keep in mind, the hilltop is smashed. Alexandria is actually probably okay for the most part. They could rebuild it if anything's broken. The walkers went through there, but they didn't napalm, tree sap bomb the Alexandria. So maybe they could go back there, or maybe they could go to Maggie's group. But we'll see where they end up actually going. So we'll see. Yeah. Okay. What else we got here? What do you guys think of World Beyond? I guess it's airing right now. Probably a lot of people are probably watching World Beyond as we speak right now. And so I watched it earlier. I did a review for it this morning, and I thought it was just okay, but a little bit drawn out, kind of boring. So that was what I thought about it anyway. What did you guys think here? Let's see. Jackson said he thought World Beyond was weird. Neo, it might be going a little white or a little gray. I don't know. It could also be my lighting as well. Getting there now. I'm 34, so it's starting to get in that range where I could be starting to fade a little bit. Yeah, maybe I should diet or something. I don't know. Maybe it's the lighting or something. Well, maybe a little bit here, a little bit. Not sure. Maybe it's just thin because it's lighter. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like when it grows out. It wasn't really gray last time, so we'll see. But time is passing, man. We're getting older. We're all getting older. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, I like the NWO mask. It's really cool. So love that. Absolutely. And WebSoak says when he gets vaccinated, he'll refuse to wear a mask after that. Well, you probably won't have to after that. Once you get that, they'll probably let you not have to wear it right afterwards. Imagine if they make you get the vax and you have to wear a mask too on top of that. That's going to be really crazy. Yeah. Yeah, see, Benny said, this new show sucks. I think he's watching it right now. See, Benny's watching World Beyond right now, and he's like, it sucks. So, yeah, man. It gets better near the end of the episode a little bit. So tough it out because it does get a little bit better. But you're right. It's not that entertaining for a lot of the first episode, I have to admit. That's true. NBC's Revolution. Is that what it was called, Kyle? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's true. I did some reviews for that show. It was pretty good. I liked it. Got canceled eventually as well, everything eventually does, I guess. At some point, everything ends. Midwinter Mink said that he actually liked World Beyond and can see the potential of it. So, yeah, well, at least the adventure part sounds pretty cool. And maybe they can do some kind of Stranger Things with the kids, and maybe that will work. But I'd like to see some of the environments, and I'd like to see, like WebSoak said earlier, I'd like to see New York. That would be awesome. That would be really cool if we could get to see New York. Again, it'll probably work because it's Walking Dead to a degree. If it wasn't Walking Dead, if it was completely a different universe and everything, I don't think it would work at all. But the fact that it's combined with Walking Dead, it might work to a degree, just as an add-on series. But I do see it as an add-on series. I don't see it as like a standalone deal. I see it as an add-on. Really, that's the way I look at it. Walking Dead Beyond is too upper middle class for me, said Kyle. Yeah, I know. Exactly right. Team Late Night said, stop adding new Walking Dead series. It's embarrassing now. Well, they're using it. They're trying. It's better than Game of Thrones where they don't do anything with it at all. Official Daily just joined. He said, hello, Trev. Do you think they will make or they will take the Hope killing the boys mom storyline any further? Yeah, maybe they will, Official. That's true. Maybe they will use that for some strife between the two, right? Maybe that'll be revealed at some point to him. Because does Elton know that? I'm not sure. That's what they were going for with that, right? Maybe I got to double check and go back over it again, but I thought so. Cindy said, I thought it was a great episode. Haters gonna hate. Yeah, if you liked it, I'm happy for you. That's good. I thought it was just okay. And I do reviews for lots of series and watch lots of series over the years. Pilots are supposed to be really, really good. If you're not buzzing for something after a pilot, it typically means it's probably not going to work. But a little bit from it. It was okay. I was just mostly so excited for Walking Dead season 10 finale. I couldn't really pay much attention to World Beyond, to be honest with you. Not much. Official says, I think the boy will be a bad or evil character by the next season. Well, that could be cool. Maybe he'll be sort of like the comic Carl that we never had, right? Like a evil. He becomes evil as things go through. That could be cool if they did that with him. I would like to see that. So it could be kind of epic. So we'll see. Elton, right? Yeah, that's the one you're talking about. It could be cool if they do that with him at some point. So I guess it's continuing next week. So I guess, I don't know if I'm going to review every episode of World Beyond. Maybe we will. It'll be tough, though, because I'll be doing the reviews for Fear, and then on top of that, reviewing World Beyond at the same time. So I don't know. I'll try it with my schedule and see if I can manage to do reviews for all the episodes. Maybe I'll be able to, but maybe not. Maybe I'll have to choose between live streams or doing reviews for every episode of World Beyond. So, but definitely going to review Fear because I've reviewed that since the first season. So we're definitely going to continue with that. Plus they have Morgan and the OG Fear survivor. So we got to do that. And Dwight as well too now. So that's good. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Official TV. Yeah, Official Daily. I agree. You're talking about Felix. So the way that the actor who plays Felix, what is his name? Somebody give me the actor's name. I've seen it a few times now. So the way he portrays Felix is a lot like Rick to me. I almost think that he studied Andrew Lincoln's Rick and decided to play Felix a lot like him. So, that's kind of the sense I got from him as well, too. I thought he was good, but, So, let's see. What did Chris say? Just want to see that lady villain on Fear get knifed in the eye. Yeah, like Beta. It was a brutal death, right? To go in through both eyes with the Bowie knives. That was absolutely brutal. John Patrick said, nobody cares about Maggie anymore. So, yeah. No, I thought it was good to see Maggie return. I thought it was a great return for her, and that was cool. We need that, man, because with Michonne being gone now, too, Maggie coming back, I think, helps out a lot. It makes me... Because I think Maggie is actually a carry in terms of like who's going to carry your show or not. I think Maggie is a carry, just like Daryl and Carol. Like I put her in the same type of level as Daryl and Carol, that she can help carry the show, just like Michonne could. But someone like Magna, for example, some of the newer ones that haven't been there as long, they're not going to be able to carry the show the same way as someone like Maggie can, because she was in there at the earlier seasons and everybody, we saw her story. It goes back to Glenn and everything. So, I think for her, it's a great thing that she's coming back. Green App said, absolutely love, and thank you for the super chat, Green App. Absolutely love the truth videos, but it's refreshing to get content from a Walking Dead episode. Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, they're fun to a degree, but sometimes not so fun because we're seeing this stuff start to come into our real life now. And so wearing masks everywhere is not fun. Nobody wants to talk about that, right? Because it's annoying is what it is. And having, danger actually be out there when you leave is also annoying too. So it's, it's what it is, but it's good to just get to watch Walking Dead, which is just fun. And there's no negative emotions involved. It's just fun. And it's just fun stuff. And if character gets killed off, then so be it. But it's not like somebody in real life actually died, right? Which, yeah, it's a lot darker. It's a lot darker when stuff happens for real, right? It's a lot more serious, that's for sure. So, okay. Logan Brett said, got a good conspiracy theory for you, Trev. They made World Beyond bad on purpose to make fear look better. I like that one. That's good, man. But yeah, thank you, Green Nav. And I will do more truth videos in the future, guys, for certain. I want to do a book review for this book, Committee of 300 book. So I want to do that. I'm most of the way through it now, and I know most of it already. But this would be cool to do a review on that. So I want to do that. And then I got another one really good from recommendation by Eric Dubé, which is Zetetic Astronomy, Earth, Not a Globe. So this one's really cool. This is Samuel Robotham. So very good stuff. He did some great experiments. So I might do a review for that. But people hate this one. They don't want to talk about this, which rightfully so. If they don't know anything about it, they think it's ridiculous and stupid and everything like that, which kind of is what I thought when I first heard about it. But I kind of want to do that later. But definitely I'll do a review for Committee of 300. That's for sure. So New World Order. Yeah. So, yeah. Maggie had a great return. She had a great entrance. And yeah, I love Maggie's return. It was fun. It was awesome. And I enjoyed it. Team Late Night said, wait, I haven't watched this channel in a while. You believe the Earth is flat now. So no, team, I don't believe the Earth is flat now. I want to do a review of Samuel Robotham's work and give my thoughts on it, as I did a review of Eric Dubé's work in his 200 proofs, and give my thoughts on that. So listen, we can review different stuff and not agree with everything. Like I said, I don't agree with Dr. John Coleman about the Committee of 300. I don't agree with him thinking that they're the top dogs. They're there. They are extremely powerful. They're a group, but there are different groups that control the world. They're one of them. But just because I don't agree with everything somebody's saying, like Dr. John Coleman, I don't agree with him about everything, but I like to do reviews to give my take on it and give my thoughts on it. So I do not view the Committee of 300 as the head honchos at all. I view them as an entity in a group that's been there for, I think he says, somewhere you can trace it back to about the last 200 to 300 years. They're sort of like the Knights of the Round. You could kind of think of them as 300 people that that manage on behalf of the Royal Society as part of it. But I do not view them as the top dogs. So we can give our thoughts on different things and be disagreeable about it. It doesn't mean just because, and it doesn't mean that I don't like Dr. John Coleman either. It just means that I take what he's saying, I absorb it, I agree with some stuff, other stuff I don't agree with, right? But he's got some good stuff in there. So I'll be doing a review of that at some point in the next couple weeks or so. But I don't agree with everything. Dr. John Coleman thinks that the crown still rules. That's what he thinks. He thinks that Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II is the ruler of the world, the number one. I don't agree with him, but it doesn't mean I'm going to throw everything out that he says in here. I do not agree that Queen Elizabeth is still the top person in the world. I don't agree with that. Is she one of the top people in the world? Well, she's up there. There's no question. She's extremely powerful. Prince Charles is extremely powerful. Are they the top person in the world? No, I don't think so. But you can definitely make a case that they're maybe in the top 100, maybe in the top 50, something like they're near the top. But doesn't mean we have to agree with everything he says, okay? But see, that's the point of a review. We can say what we agree with, what we don't, what we like, what we don't. We can go through it, right? So there it is. Columbus. Columbus, I don't know if you want to get into that, but Dr. Robotham's work is fantastic. Really good stuff. And they bring in some good points. And basically, the key point is we can see further with telescopes and cameras with zoom level than we're supposed to be able to based on the formula for curvature calculation. So that's interesting. Why can we see further than we're supposed to be able to? And we can do a review and get into that. I don't know why. I don't know if he's entirely right or wrong, but in his estimation, we can see further because, well, there is no curvature. That's what he's saying. Now, maybe we can get into that more when we have time. This is a Walking Dead video, but we can go into the different stuff. Well, you know, Bronze, but the thing is that, see, the thing that bothers me about people is that they don't want to learn. They don't want to read, right? Like, if you want to understand what we're talking about here, read the content, read the material, then you can give your thoughts on it. So this one's really good. Again, I don't agree with everything, but it's really good. And then this one I'm just starting to go through now at Eric Dubé's recommendation. But will I agree with it to conclude? I'll go through it all. We'll do a review, and I can maybe give some answers as to why we can see further than we're supposed to be able to. Maybe there's a logical answer for that, or maybe there isn't. Maybe there is some lies about the place that we live and the kind of official calculations we're given. Because the math doesn't work. I can tell you that right now. The math doesn't work based on our regular layout of the world and the curvature. It doesn't work. So, it's good stuff. We can get into it. We can go through it. But I don't agree the Earth is flat. I'm not a flat earther. But I'm going through it because a lot of my viewers are flat earthers, or they like the stuff a lot. And they've got some really good points. And I've pointed them out in live streams before. They've got some great points. Yes, they're right. We can see too far away. They're right. We can. What does that mean? We should go through and discuss it, right? We should go through that and take that all the way through and see, is there an answer for that? What's the answer and what does that look like? So we'll go through that. And it's not to upset anybody or anything like that. I just like the stuff, and it doesn't mean I agree with every one. I'll give you an example. Some people say, well, Trev, are you gullible? Do you believe every conspiracy? No, I don't. I told the Q people, it ain't real, dude. Or at least if it's real, it's like 10% real, right? That's what it is. It's like 10%, that's it. So that's what it is. So no, I don't agree with everyone, but they also have some good points too, because some of these real life people are being taken down. Epstein was taken down. Ghislaine was taken down. Others are being taken down now. So that's a good thing. So there's always some truth to all of this stuff. With the Q group, it's a small truth, but there's a truth there to it. Thanks, Rob, for that. Rob Frank 615 sent through a super chat. He said Virgil is a creep. Beta's death was uneventful. I would have loved a 3 to 4 minute fight between Daryl, Negan, and Beta. Yeah, absolutely. And how did they miss teasing the Maggie seeing Negan out of his cell angle? I gave the finale a 7 out of 10. So Rob's only given it a 7 out of 10. I don't disagree with anything you said here, Rob. The fight with Daryl, Negan, and Beta should have been longer. It was a cool kill, I thought, but definitely there should have been a Lucille involved. There should have been some back and forth, maybe some slow-mo. That should have been part of the focus of the episode. Instead, they put the slow-mo into the cliff with the mask going over and the effects into that. I would have liked to have seen some effects for the fight itself, but we didn't see that. And, that's okay, I guess. But I would have liked to seen a little bit more focus around that fight as a guy, as I know you would too, as a manly man or alpha male. You want to see, the men fight it out and really fight it out. Because if you think about it too, if they're not going to run from the whispers and they're going to face them, they're going to fight them. You got to build up to fight a guy like Beta. It's difficult to approach a guy like Beta. You're not just going to walk up to Beta if you're 6 foot and he's 6'5", and he outweighs you by 50 to 100 pounds. There's a buildup to that of adrenaline and everything else that they could have focused on a little bit. They didn't do that, but it's okay. At least the kill scene was cool, where you had the double Bowie knives in the eyes, and then he kind of pulls them out, and he's kind of like joining the dead, and he sees it in his mind. I like the flashing of him seeing in his mind as him joining it with his sort of narrative. I think of some of that, like with the truther stuff with Beta in this one. As Beta's losing his mind, he sort of sees it as like as like, him being in command of the dead, or him actually having these abilities that he doesn't have, like where he's talking to the dead and he's giving them commands and stuff and they're turning. This isn't really happening, but sort of in his mind, he sees it that way. So maybe you could say that with these people, right? Maybe with flat earthers, they're seeing it like Beta, they're seeing it their way and they're wrong. Or maybe you could say it as, okay, actually they're right and everyone else are the ones that are not seeing it objectively true, and they're sort of in a beta state. So who's in the beta state, who's not? I love going through the stuff. Some people don't like it. I do. It's a passion for mine as much as Walking Dead, I guess. And so that's why I like doing this stuff with you guys. But I did love to see the beta stuff where he sees himself in the narrative as being the leader of the zombies and of the dead, and it flashes to show them turn and look at him like, what do we do, boss? And then he tells them what to do. But then it flashes to show that that's not really happening. Beta is perceiving it that way, but that's not actually real. So that's like the Q guys, right? The Q guys, the Q people see Trump as like this angelic, light emitting hero, and that's probably not true, right? So I like that. I like the beta angle where you're looking at Beta. He sees it this way, he's losing it, right? So he's doing his thing and he perceives it that way, and it seems to be true and real for him, but to others on the outside, it's not the case. So that's a cool dichotomy of the one versus the other, of a way to look at it, of Half Moon's face, the Beta, half face of what's real and what's not. And also when he sees Alpha there, like for him, he sees Lydia with the Alpha mask on, and he sees her, and that's real for him. He sees Alpha and he's like, Alpha, whatever. And he's going for it. And for him, that's real to him. He doesn't realize that actually that's just Lydia wearing the mask, right? But for him, that is the Alpha. The Alpha's return. He's going, even though he should know that that's not possible, but yet for him, it's real, right? So it's real for him. So that's cool, right? So that's a fun way to look at it. Yeah. So people would say that that's me with the New World Order stuff. Forget the fact that I actually got in trouble and had phone calls and stuff. But anyway, I could be half face Trev, where I think that there's this group. Well, I mean, it's hard to say that there isn't, but okay, I can see it that way, and maybe it's not there, right? Maybe when Prince Charles is talking about sustainable development goals and about all this stuff needing a crisis, you're seeing something that isn't there, right? Or maybe other people are not seeing something that is there because they willfully don't want to. So that's kind of a cool way visually to look at different ways of looking at reality, where one person looks at it one way, like Beta, he sees something others don't see, and he's wrong. He's not actually right, but it's a perception that he sees with the zombies looking at him. And then other people from the outside know, oh, that's not Alpha, that's just Lydia. But for him, it is. And those walkers are not listening to you. Those are the whispers listening to you. They're guiding him around. But to him, it is. Like it's the walkers, like tighten the ranks or whatever. It's for him, it's real. It's real for him. You see what I'm saying? So that's a fun commentary on our kind of reality with Beta. I love it. And how did they miss so Rob also said, how did they miss the teasing, the Maggie seeing Negan out of his cell? Yeah, that's true, right? They didn't address that. So, maybe they felt like, you had Judith there. You had the great scene, the triumphant scene, which reminded me a little bit of like Carol. And you had Rick being reunited with Judith in like No Sanctuary. So in this one, you see Maggie return and she sees Judith after all this time and she embraces her. So I guess they wanted to spotlight that, and that made sense. And then they could deal with the Negan Maggie face off later, which should be fun to see what happens with that. I'm expecting some abusive behavior from Maggie in the way of Negan and vice versa. So it's good stuff. That's the fight scene I waited for, said Jack Goldberg. Yeah, that's it. So, that's what it is. Good stuff. Okay. What else we got here? Thank you, Rob. Send your questions. You don't have to send them through Super Chat. I'll just prioritize them anyway. But he said also, almost shed a tear with the Judith Maggie reunion. Yeah, I did. I have to admit that I did. I immediately pinned 250 milligrams of testosterone after that. Yeah, so you take a booster, Rob, 250 milligrams. How much is that? A test booster. Do you take a pill orally, or are you doing it the other way? Let me let you know. Yeah, yeah. You see, you catch yourself getting soft, and you have to take a booster, right? So yeah. Which actually could be useful for people to take a booster if they get, the COVID or something. I don't know. Maybe having a little bit more might help or something. I heard they're giving people steroids for their lungs or whatever for breathing. So you get some people are taking steroids to fight off if they get the COVID, right? Injection. Rob's doing injection. How much you bench right now, Rob? I have no idea. What do you bench, and what are you benching with, and what do you squat? Let me know. So a doctor prescribed, of course, right? Yeah, yeah, good doctor, right? Good stuff. Yeah. Billy Jean says, "Why won't the Walking Dead World Beyond be over?" So that's true. We are doing the stream right now while World Beyond is on. I guess you could maybe multitask and sort of do both. The movie The Fifth Wave, Jeff? No, I haven't seen The Fifth Wave. I was looking through Eyes Wide Shut the other day, and I was looking through what other one? 2001: A Space Odyssey. I was watching that through as well too to get some stuff from it. So yeah, it's going on so long. Yeah, Billy, I think it's longer than an hour block, I think, right, for World Beyond. So it still has some bit left. Maybe everybody will join us when that's on. Mr. Quinlan said that World Beyond is straight garbage. And I'm still waiting on Rob to tell us how much he's squatting and benching right now with the juice. Because I was wondering, like, if I ever had done that, like I take, boosters and stuff, or I'd ever done that, like how much would I be able to bench? How big would I be? That kind of, you always have questions like that as a guy. I never do it because I'm kind of straight edge like that. I don't really do it. But at my age right now, since I'm almost 35, a little bit of boosters probably totally fine to do, because my test levels are coming down as time goes on. So if you take like, a quarter, you can buy a test booster at Walmart. You take like a quarter or a little piece or something, maybe just to get it back to where it should be, or do exercises to try to keep it there as you get older makes some sense. But I've never done injection steroids or anything like that. I don't advocate them. I just want to know from Robert what he's benching right now. That's all. So, Kidman104 says, I was a little disappointed that we didn't get a Daryl and Maggie scene, or Carol and Maggie. I mean, geez. Also, I was really hoping Magna to die. Yeah, so Kevin's got a good point. We didn't see Maggie and Daryl or Maggie and Carol. I guess they opted for the Judith one. They only had so much time, but I almost wish instead of extending World Beyond to like an hour and a half runtime or whatever it is, plus an hour, I think, with commercials, they should have extended Walking Dead finale a little bit more. But they did a lot this season. I thought it was a great cap off to the final episode of season 10. I think season 10 is a marvelous season, really good season actually, without Rick also, which is surprising how good it turned out without Rick. And so I thought it was still good. But you're right. I'm sure that we'll get to see Maggie and Daryl, Maggie and Carol, Maggie and Negan in those 6 additional episodes next year. And thank you, Kidman, for the super chat. Where do we got the follow-ups from Rob? Okay, maybe he's watching World Beyond right now. Maybe he doesn't see. Let's see. When There Were Wonders said, what's in the 24 missing moments of Eyes Wide Shut? The minutes that were removed. Okay, do you guys know the story of Eyes Wide Shut? We'll just go over briefly because this is Walking Dead. But basically, Eyes Wide Shut in the beta vision conspiracy space is the most important movie of all time, I would say, because Eyes Wide Shut shows the inner world of the rulers, I guess I would say. So when Stanley Kubrick, who did Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, when they did the movie in the 90s, was it? It was like 90s, right? Or was it 2000s? Anyway, whenever they did it, after the movie was shown to the Fox executives, they cut the movie, and Stanley Kubrick wouldn't let them cut it. He said, "No, you're not cutting my movie. I have, a contract. It's set in stone. You cannot cut this out of my movie. And they cut about 24 minutes or so out of the movie, give or take. Don't know if it's exactly that much, but they cut almost half an hour out of the movie because there was stuff in that half an hour, most likely, that the powers that be in Hollywood and in the world did not want the public to see. So what did they cut out of Eyes Wide Shut is a very, very good question. Again, probably the most important movie of all time right there. It's not that entertaining. It's not the most entertaining or the funnest movie. It's the most important movie because you have Stanley Kubrick, who was a consultant for NASA, was a consultant for the intelligence agencies, who got in the club and did a movie showing, I believe it was even filmed in a Red Shield mansion too, Rothschild Mansion. He did a movie, Eyes Wide Shut, and they cut the movie, a lot of it out, of the stuff they did not want the average public to know or see. Occulted information, secret stuff that they did not want getting out. What was in that? I would speculate anything pointing to individuals in real life that are involved in these types of groups. Anything relating to pizza, probably. That's a code word. You guys know that one, right? Which probably was in the movie too. And Hillary Clinton just did a video or stream where people were looking through her books that she has in the stream, and there's a satanic book in the pile. There's a satanic book there. I think they're just covering it now. It's coming out now. So I'll find out what the book is. I'll research the book, and I'll let you guys know maybe in a further live stream coming up here. But guys, I kid you not. You can call me the beta guy that's seeing stuff that's not there. But believe me, it's kind of hard to say when you got Hillary and there's a book on Satanism right there in her pile, in her stack, and we can trace the book. We have some people in this world that are very top ranking, that are high up there, that are Luciferian. They're Satanists. And Hillary Clinton is involved. The Clintons are involved. Epstein was involved. Ghislaine's involved. A lot of other very rich, powerful people are involved. And it's starting to come out into the consciousness now. Now, Stanley Kubrick did not live long after Eyes Wide Shut was shown, because it was showing stuff that once they found out he did what? Basically, he broke, by using the movie, he broke his agreements, his oaths to tell no secrets. Okay? When he did that movie, he broke those oaths. So obviously, he did not live long after that. You can do the math on that and how that works. So what was in those extra minutes that were cut from Eyes Wide Shut? I mean, who knows, man? But most likely stuff that the industry in Hollywood, the controllers in Hollywood, were like, you're not showing that in the movie, so they cut it out on purpose. Whether it was just brutal stuff, but more likely because it was revelation of real life stuff in art. So they use fiction sometimes to reveal real world concepts, which I think Stanley Kubrick did. And I think it took years off his life. I think he would have lived a lot longer if he didn't do that. So, that's what it is. If you take an oath, they hold you to your oaths. If you don't follow your oaths, that's at your own peril. I haven't taken any oaths from anybody, basically. I'm just respectful of certain areas. So if I'm told, shut up about this and this, I don't do it. And that's it. I have a small audience here anyway with you guys, but it's big enough to where, but anyway, a major, big budget movie like that, Eyes Wide Shut, can't do it, especially if you yourself have personal firsthand experience in those circles. Can't do it. If you do it, it says in the protocols, we hasten the death, basically, of anybody who gets in our way. So get in the way and your death be hastened. But, it'll look like an accident or natural or suicide or whatever. They'll dress it up with plausible deniability so it looks like nothing happened. Just look at the hit list in and around the Clintons. The list is like pages long of people who have died young in and around the Clintons. It's like pages and pages. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Absolutely. Cat Williams said Milkman C. I don't know too much about Cat Williams. Rob Frank said too many injuries to lift heavy, Trev. My best was incline bench with 130 dumbbells for 10 reps. Wow, that's amazing. So that's 260, Rob. You're doing Wow, 260. But yeah, I can understand you might get injured if you, if you lift so heavy like that. I never do anything like that. I do like 130 maybe between both, and that's about it. So yeah, that's crazy, man. You're a tank, man. So that's cool stuff. So if you got any tips for increasing bench, send them to me. I'd like to hear it from you. So yeah, so that's about Eyes Wide Shut. So Eyes Wide Shut is almost more of like a fictional documentary of real life than anything else. And yeah, in my opinion, it cost Stanley Kubrick his life to reveal that information. It cost him his life. So we should take that information and take it to heart and really analyze it well, because it did, in my opinion anyway, in the beta vision, the way I see things, it did lead him into an early demise. Yeah, early demise. Yeah. So that's what it is. And if you guys if you want proof of this for some of these groups, I've heard from people that if you go through the WikiLeaks, there's some emails addressing some of the women of the Red Shields from Hillary. So yeah, I don't have any personal experience in that, though. I haven't. It's not like I've gone through them myself or anything and seen that to be the case. That's illegal. You can't go through the WikiLeaks. So guys, don't go through the WikiLeaks. But yeah, there's some stuff in there that's kind of cool. So check it out. Yeah. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Blitz. Yeah, he died in his sleep after suffering a heart attack. Right, exactly. Right after the movie was shown. Right. The movie was shown when, and how long after that did he die? How long was that? You can call it that, Elizabeth. But if you don't want to call them that, you could. Here, I'll give you another one, Elizabeth. Here's what you want to call them. You know what you want to call them? The Clintons, and this family, and that family, and this family, and that family, and you just list off the families. Then you don't have to say the word if you don't like Illuminati, which is just basically Illuminati is just Luciferianism, because Lucifer is the light bearer. He's the illuminator. So by saying Illuminati, all you're saying is that they're worshiping Lucifer. Basically, that's all it is. It's just a name for illumination of light bearing, which is bearing light or bearing illumination. Illuminati. That's all it is. It's just a group of Satanists. That's it. If you just want to call them that, call them that. David Icke calls them the 1%. Other groups call them the Power Elite. You could call them Committee of 300 if you want to, which isn't exactly the same thing. This is more English aristocracy and royalty. But yeah, you can call them that if you want to. But it's not a silly, stupid theory like some people try to act like it. You can see a book on Satanism in Hillary's book list that she's got when she was doing that thing recently. So yeah, you're right. Sometimes people just die too. So that's why plausible deniability is so useful. Sometimes people get in car accidents. Sometimes they do get overweight and just die naturally. And then sometimes they piss people off really badly, and then they have an accident after, right? So sometimes people get COVID, right? That's the deal now. It's like, oh, they got COVID, right? So, well, what can you do? They got COVID, man. What can you do? Died of COVID. What is it, right? Got in the way of the Power Elite, but died of COVID. Whoa, what are you going to say, man? What a shocker. What is it? So we'll see what happens here in the next month or so, few weeks or so. I hope nothing too bad, and that's just it's just regular COVID infection or something, and nothing tweaked or nothing cocktailed to make it even worse. Milkman C said Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington had done work helping, in Haiti, but found some shady shit apparently, and with the group that were also tied to Hillary. Yeah. What you do, Milk, when you trace them all in together, you start to find that they're all interconnected and interlinked in a web. As David Icke would say, like the spider's web, he calls it. Yeah, it's like that, right? So what can you do, man? The best thing you could do is tell people about it, I guess, which is what I've done to a degree anyway. Okay. Yeah, JD, yeah. 2001: A Space Odyssey is a trip. Absolutely. So let's get back to Walking Dead, shall we? Because I don't want to piss people off. And we did have Walking Dead finale tonight. But like I said, videos are coming for a review of Committee of 300. And then eventually I might do one of Zetetic Astronomy, but I have to continue doing the math and everything. I have the math on this a bit, but it's tricky. This is a really tricky one. Biggest most of all because people think it's a joke, and actually it's actually not a joke when you look at it. They've got some really good stuff. So we might do that pretty soon. So maybe some movie reviews for that too would be cool. After Fear is done and after World Beyond is done and we're done doing reviews for that, then maybe I'll do a review for Eyes Wide Shut, 2001: A Space Odyssey. Some of the most important movies ever made in terms of the occult. We'll do those because, those will be really good to do. And, this stuff is kind of similar to Walking Dead because Walking Dead is sort of like in the Marilyn Manson song that I did a video on this week with Norman Reedus. Did you guys see the Norman Reedus, Marilyn Manson music video? Don't Chase the Dead, it's called. So Marilyn Manson, Norman Reedus, Don't Chase the Dead, or they'll end up chasing you. That's the song. Don't Chase the Dead. You can listen to it on YouTube if you want to. Marilyn Manson and Norman Reedus in the music video. So I read that as don't chase the dead or they'll end up chasing you. And I think Marilyn Manson fairly recently lost his father within the last little while. So I think maybe some of the meaning of that song is don't chase the dead into an early grave or they'll end up chasing you. I think it's kind of like maybe in Marilyn Manson's mind, in hell, the dead walk, right? So you have like zombies. So it's sort of like with Walking Dead even. You could even say, and there's a quote from Night of the Living Dead, I think, with the doctor on the news or the person on the news. Or he's not a doctor. He's, I think he's a pastor. And he says, when there's no more room left in hell, the dead will walk the earth, right? And that's prior to Walking Dead. That's in Night of the Living Dead. So it's sort of like, if you look at Marilyn Manson's song, Don't Chase the Dead with Norman Reedus, it's kind of like, don't chase the dead to an early grave or you'll end up in hell, and then the dead will chase you in hell. So that's my interpretation of it. If you guys saw the music video, let me know what you think in the comments here. But that's one way to interpret it. So there's a lot of crossover between real life and these types of groups and what they do, the biblical sense of it, the old school idea of heaven and hell, which has kind of been has been taken into unpopular territory now. It's not really so popular to think about things as black and white like that, good or bad, heaven or hell. God or or Jesus or Satan, God, Lucifer, one versus the other, black versus white, this kind of idea. But it has its underpinnings in Walking Dead too, because the concept of zombies or the dead walking, I would associate with the dead. I would associate with hell, and I'd have to agree with Marilyn Manson on this one that don't chase the dead, don't suicide or go to an early grave, or you may end up in hell if it's real, and then the dead in hell, the dead chase you, right? So you could look at it that way if you want to. Janie, about Trump, you want to bring Trump into this? Really? Do you want to? I was on a good Walking Dead tie-in roll there, and now we're going to bring Trump into this. Okay, you guys, what do you guys say? All right, let me ask you guys, and we'll do it democratically. It's a free stream. Should we talk Trump, or should we not do that now? What do you guys think? The Trump situation. Should we do it, or should we not do it? Blitz says no. We got one vote for no, one vote for yes, second vote for no from Green. So we got 2 for yes, 2 for no, 5 for yes, 4 for no. It's almost 50-50. It's like 60-40. Billie Jean says no, yes. It's like a straight 50-50 draw. So should we do no? Should we side with no? Oh man, I don't know. People saying ugh, now people are getting pissed. Well, it's not really politics, see, Benny, because he might die. Right? Like you guys know that, right? He might die. Like that. He might not make it. I mean, I hope he does. I hope he survives and everything, but he might die. You guys know that, right? He's 74. He's got great doctors and everything, and they've given him, I think, remdesivir and some other stuff. And I think he's been on oxygen already once or twice, oxygen dip a couple times. So I don't know, is it serious, is it not? We'll see in the next week or two if it turns serious. But yeah, man, I mean, it's not really politics. I mean, we're talking about one of the top people in the whole world, like it or not. And he's, also because he's kind of seized power as well and kind of does what he wants. So that moves him up the power chain a bit, because then he kind of ignores a lot of the advisors like Gil Bates and people like that. So I won't talk politics. This isn't politics, but, he is sick, right? So what do we think about that? All right, let's just continue because, yeah, he's out of the hospital black, but he's been on an oxygen dip. A lot of reports are saying that they're making it sound like it's less than it is. I hope it's nothing, right? I hope he's going to be fine. I hope it's nothing. I hope it's just, point whatever percent chance of 99.7, whatever. But based on his age, he's in the demographic where they have to be careful. And also, Alex Jones brought in the idea already that maybe this is a platform designer version that's been, because he went to the debates. They had the debates. So the question is this an assassination attempt? I don't think so, and I'm going to say no. Again, we can talk about this without me agreeing with everything every conspiratorial person says, right? But at the same time, we have to think it's a bit strange. He goes to the debates where he's facing off against Biden and basically enemy faction here, pretty much, that wants him out of the way and wants him gone. Next thing you know, a lot of the Republicans have gotten the COVID. One of the first, Hope Hicks, right, got it. His wife got it, Melania, First Lady got it, he got it, and a lot of others have gotten it now too. So, man, I hope it was just a natural him getting it thing, because one of the things about this virus is that it can be spliced, it can be platformed, it can be edited, and you can get, maybe a worse version of it or a lighter version of it. So I'm not ready to ring the alarm right now. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll get through it. That's my prediction. I think it'll be fine. Maybe he just got the regular version of it, like a lot of people have got. He has been doing a lot and going to a lot of different places, debates, and also rallies and whatnot. So I'm going to assume he's got the regular, normal version of it, and it's nothing too brutal. But if they all drop dead all of a sudden, then you know that this was an edited deal, because they can actually take that and they can edit it and they can change it and then they can re-release it where they kind of want it to go. So that's what's really dark and really tricky about the world right now, is that, is there an invisible enemy? Well, there is. And for most people, there's such an invisible enemy that they don't think it's even there at all, despite, Hillary reading books on Satanism and whatnot, and all the tie-ins, Epstein, Ghislaine, all the others that are involved. I think it'll be all right, guys. Everybody's got to play the game to a degree. How about I say this too? Isn't it one of his sons named Barron? It's Barron Trump, right? So you want to talk like royalty, royal society, these types of things. One of his sons is named Barron, right? So it's like, everybody's got to play the game, guys. Everybody's got to play the game. I don't know if he's 100% independent, doing his own thing, and everybody's just left him alone, and they're kind of disappointed with him because he doesn't do certain things. He comes off standoffish with the United Nations. Is that an act? Is that a work? Like there aren't tensions between the United Nations and the Trump administration. I don't know. Time will tell, but I don't want to read into it too much. I think he just got the regular kind of version of it because it is very highly contagious, not as deadly as probably they made it seem like at first. So I think he'll be just fine. He'll be okay. But, it is possible that maybe Alex Jones is right. I hope not. And I hope that it's not an edited version of the regular virus. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm right now leaning towards it's probably nothing to worry about. He'll be fine. And everything will be okay. That's what I'm thinking. But we also shouldn't underestimate it and act like there's no chance of mortality here. There probably is, especially if this wasn't an accident or a regular transfer. If it wasn't a regular transfer, then this is going to get really ugly. But I think it's a regular transfer. I'll say it that way. I think it's a regular transfer, and that it's just whatever. So, whether somehow he was given it, like somebody had it and then they put them in range to deliberately try to give it to them. That might be possible. Like someone had it, they knew they had it, and they put him in range with Hope Hicks, or they put him in range with one of the people of his party, and they kind of purposefully put them in proximity to have it happen. Because remember, he's supposed to be in this bubble. Even Anderson Cooper, to go with the NWO angle, he's supposed to be in this bubble where he's protected all around and everyone's tested however many times a day, and there's no way possible he could get it. That's the way that's the talking head CIA Vanderbilt Cooper mouthpiece that's saying that he's in this bubble, so he doesn't have to wear a mask, but you do because he doesn't have to worry. Well, somehow he ended up getting it anyway. Was it unintentional? Was it intentional? Time will tell. We'll get more information as things go through. But I do think it's serious because we don't know what's happening. We don't know if he just got the regular COVID or something else has happened here, and I hope that's not the case. For now, I'll just say that I think he'll be just fine. I'll lean towards that, and I think it's just the regular deal, whether it was given to him kind of purposefully, putting people in range, in proximity on purpose, or if it was just happenstantial, fine. I don't think there's anything too sinister about it right now, but, who knows, right? We'll see how things turn out. But everyone's got to play the game to a degree. If you have 5 kids or you have a big family or whatever, you have to play the game to a degree. Even if you're disagreeable, you can't risk losing your kids or losing your family, right? So, Robert Frank, alpha males don't die. He'll live. Yeah, I think he'll live. I think he'll be fine. But we shouldn't act like it's nothing either because we don't know what's happening. Angela, I don't know. Like Angela's asking me, are you a Trump supporter? I don't know, Angela. I don't know. Because at this point, I'm throwing my hands up to say, I don't know who's with who. You know what I mean? It seems like he's anti-pyramid. It seems like he's anti-UN. It seems like that's where he's at. But I don't know who to trust. I don't know. Is he probably more anti-pyramid than Biden? I think so. Yeah, at least there's a chance with him he is. But, you just don't know what to think right now, right? You don't know. Is it an act, right? Is it all an act? Is it all a work? I don't know. Certainly him getting this prior to the election, certainly a lot of people have gone into the camp of it's all a work, it's all a show, it's all scripted. They've gone into that deal, which I'm not going to go there because he does sound really sick to me. But I just don't know what to think right now. I don't want to say I support this person. I'm going to say I don't support anybody right now because I don't know who to trust or who to look at and say this person is anti or this person is with it. Right now, I don't know. We'll see as things, unfold here before our eyes. Green Ave said, Trev, do you think we'll become a type 1 civilization on planet Earth before human extinction? Well, I don't think there'll be an extinction event. I think it's going to be managed, and it'll be maybe, that reduction through sterilization over the next 100 to 200 years. You got to keep in mind, too, these guys, they have all the time in the world, to do what they want to do. If they set out to do something, they could set it out 100 years, 200 years to narrow down population, to reduce population, to achieve goals. Prince Charles did talk about urgency and crises being needed for people to change. So there is urgency, but at the same time, 2030, 2050, the goals they have. But if it takes longer, it takes longer. Still, things will be guided in a direction which is manageable according to these guys. So that's what's going to happen according to the UN. Things will be managed the way they see fit. So I don't know if there'll be anything like that. I think that over time, the populations will come down over the next couple hundred years. It might take a long time, but they will. And maybe a few billion is about where we stay, maybe under 5 billion. Maybe that's about where, or maybe they just say under 10 and that's it. Stop it there. Don't let it go to 20 billion or 50 billion people, right? Keep it there and they manage it there. We'll see. Yeah. But remember, Bill Gates is knighted. So he's a royal too. He's a royal also. So keep that in mind. Honorary. He's not British, but he's honorary knight. So factor that in with what Dr. John Coleman's saying. Think of it from that beta angle and see what you think. But yeah, so that's the best I can do for that one. Is what I think about that. But thank you, Green Ab, for the super chat. So I don't think we'll see any extinction level event or anything like that. I just think it will be a long-term reduction over time, which, as Bill Gates said, in the developed countries, that's kind of happening anyway. And he said, thankfully, Bill Gates said, thankfully, that's happening naturally, that the populations in the rich countries are reducing on their own. Yeah, thankfully, because if it wasn't happening naturally, they would have to step in and do something about that. If you guys think they're just going to let population go to wherever the hell it's going to go to, not these guys. They're not going to let that happen. They're going to monitor it and they're going to manage it. And I've read all their stuff. I've gone through it all. We went through Charles Galton Darwin's book, The Next Million Years, in our recent stream. They're going to manage it. It's not going to be allowed to just spin out of control, crazy 50 billion, 100 billion people on the planet. It's never going to get there. They will step in to make sure that doesn't happen. Whether it's sterilization or war or whatever else, they'll make sure it doesn't happen. So that's the best I can do for you for that one, Greenapp. Coco LeBear says he could be controlled opposition. Right, exactly. So for people that are so pro-Trump or whatever, like I said, he's got 5 kids, right, guys? That's the count, right? 5. He's got 5 kids. So you want him to be totally anti-pyramid? You want him to piss off the powers that be that much when he's got 5 kids? I mean, man's got to do what a man's got to do. Everybody can be gotten to. So, that's what I got to say about that. But he is disagreeable. So, but is he acting? He is a reality TV actor as well. He's got that on his resume. So there's that too. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter either way. Maybe it's like whatever. He did meet the Queen right after he became president. Did he not go and meet the Queen? Right? Did he not do that and do the favors, the ceremony, and all the stuff? Right? Did he not bend the knee? Right? Do we all not bend the knee? I mean, now you got the thing with the event this year. All the football players bending the knee, everything, because, well, it's for a good cause, right? So you bend the knee, right? So, yeah, man, we all bend the knee one way or another. So it's what it is. So I don't hate him if that's the case. I don't hate him if that's what it is. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a total natural thing. And if that's the case, then so be it. Let's get back to Walking Dead, because some people like it, some people don't. So let's try to stick to Walking Dead, right? Okay, where's the Walking Dead question? Red, I agree with you about that. So Red, the problem, okay, one more, and then we'll try to really get back to Walking Dead here. One problem with war is, well, there's a few problems with war. One, it smashes the countries that are involved, so you destroy all the stuff. And the mortality rate is actually not as high as I think sometimes they make it out to be. It's brutal and everything, it sucks, but definitely sterilization is a better answer, I think. I agree with Charles Darwin on that one. Sterilization is the way to go, not overt rule, overt war. War is not going to do it. You want to get the numbers down, you do covert sterilization. That's what you do. That's how you do it. Milkman, if you missed a long time, then you won't know where we're at with this one. So, okay, let's go back to Walking Dead, because I don't want to piss too many people off. People don't like talking about depopulation. It's not a popular topic. It is for these guys. They like talking about it. Like Bill Gates says, you're not supposed to have that conversation, right? It's like, yeah, that's right, Bill. You're not supposed to have it, right? You guys have it behind the closed doors. The rest of us, we're not supposed to have it. You're right. I agree. Okay, Walking Dead comments. Come on, dudes. Let's go. Black Jesus said, that's why you're a, quote, outsider. I don't know what you're talking about. Me, I am an outsider, though. I don't sell out. I don't do that. I'm not selling out like that. I'll be respectful at the same time, but I ain't going to join or sell out or any shit like that. I don't think so. Okay, so where's the Walking Dead questions? Everyone wants to talk about this now. Trev, why isn't Talking Dead on tonight? So, Film, is Talking Dead not on? I thought Talking Dead was on after World Beyond. No? Did they cancel it? Someone check and verify for me. Did they cancel Talking Dead? I thought it was on after World Beyond. Is it on or not? Is Morgan half zombie now, Jeffrey Lane? Yeah, and his eyes change color, right? He's red, right? It's like a I'm not gonna say. His eyes change color, so it's he's got the beard and everything. It's so sweet. So it looks like it's on. Everybody says Talking Dead's on right now. So there you go. If you want to watch it, Talking Dead's on as we speak. So there it is. When will Rick return? I don't think Rick's returning, even for the end of the series. I think he'll be in the movies only. But maybe we'll see a few movies, and that could be really good. I hope so. So, yeah. Explain World Beyond ending, Andy. My interpretation, Andy, was Elizabeth cleared house. My impression of it, as I said in my review, is that the girls and the youth seem to be jaded to the CRM, and so Elizabeth made the decision that they were not useful, so they would clean house, because it seemed that the youth that they were building up there to possibly be troops and to be scientists and soldiers and whatnot, it seemed like they were too defiant So she decided to kill them with an iron fist because she didn't want to deal with a rogue group that would be raised and be anti-CRM. So she killed them all. That was my impression. Now, is it possible that's not where they were going with that last scene? 10,000 people is a lot of people. We didn't see 10,000 people right there in that scene. But that was my impression of it, is that at the end of World Beyond, she cleans house. Let me know what you guys think. If you saw World Beyond, does she kill everybody? Or what's the case? No, I'm just drinking coffee and water, man. No vodka. Yeah, I got to be careful what I say to a degree, so I try not to drink alcohol on streams. It's better not to. So, okay. Talking down right now. When will Rick return movies? Yeah. When is Fear back on? Next Sunday. So Fear is back next Sunday with its season 6 premiere, and it's got 7 episodes done. And I think the last episode they might not have finished. So, but that's what that is. Okay, so there's your explanation for World Beyond ending. My impression was she killed them all. That was what I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me, somebody, if I'm wrong. Do you think she killed everybody in the community except for maybe some escapees or something, which she figures the dad will take care of probably? Let's see. Huma said the problem with saying retweeting white nationalists is the lefties call everyone WN. That's why no one believes you, clown. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Sorry, I don't follow you. Billie Jean, it's finally over. Party. Well, the last scene was good, right, Billie Jean? The part with all the people dead at the end was pretty crazy. It was a nice twist, I thought. Yeah, Morgan better survive. Yeah, I agree, man. I'm excited to see what happens with Morgan. And wouldn't that be strange if Fear continues on longer than The Walking Dead does and Morgan's still alive? That would be so strange. Absolutely. Thank you, DC Ray, for saying you enjoy talking about current events. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Angela doesn't like it. What a surprise. The girls hate it. They hate talking about rulership and population management. They can't stand it. But hey, man, you know what? Other people are having these discussions. If it affects our personal lives, if we start to see it bleed into our everyday lives, then we're at liberty to talk about it. You can push it in the background and pretend it's not real. Then you can do that. You can beta that way if you want to. But think everyone's on your side. See things that way. Everyone's on your side. Everyone's helping you. Everyone's whatever. No one's doing anything bad. Whatever. But you can beta in that way too if you want to. That's up to you. I don't want to upset you or anything by telling you that Lydia is actually, or Alpha is actually Lydia. It's not Alpha. So. Yeah, see you, Milk. I'll see you soon, man. It's going to get worse. Don't worry, people. Just see, best believe. Yeah, it could get a lot worse. We'll see what happens here in the next few years. By 2030, especially, I think a lot of stuff will probably happen. Green App, thank you again for the super chat, man. He said, subscribe to the channel 7 years ago for the Who is Michonne video. I remember it. Will stay for truth videos. Hello, Rick Grimes movies better be good. Yeah, I know, right? They better be good, man. And yeah, it's unfortunate they announced the ending, man, after all these years. Thanks for staying Green App since season 2 with the Who is Michonne video when I did that after. So I filmed that video the night the season 2 finale aired, Beside the Dying Fire. After I finished watching Beside the Dying Fire, just like today on a Sunday, I recorded that video and my death predictions for season 2. And I think those were the most popular videos I ever did, pretty much. I used Rick as a zombie in one of the thumbnails, and people love that. That one and the Michonne one. So thank you for all the years of support, Green Alv. I appreciate it, man. And yeah, you guys are awesome, man. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, Jacob, yeah, Agenda 21, 2021. Well, it's going to take a long time to change all the things they want to change, man. There's a lot of change coming in the next 10, 20, 30 years. A lot of change, as there always is, but even more in the future. Jeffrey Lane says it's like Thanos snapping fingers. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Negan X Beta wasn't that good, said Ponagrosa. Yeah, it wasn't as good as it could have been. That's for sure. Daniel asks, did you like the premiere of World Beyond? Yeah, I did a review for it this morning. I thought World Beyond's premiere was okay, but I didn't think it was absolutely amazing. I just thought it was all right. Nothing too crazy or nothing too amazing, but pretty good. Digimon Games, Trev, do you think Trump will make it? Yeah, I think he'll pull through. I think he'll make it. I think he'll be all right. But would it surprise me too much if he didn't make it? No, it wouldn't surprise me at all. It would suck really bad if he didn't make it. But I think he will. I think he'll make it. I think he'll be all right. So it's what it is. Yeah. I really hope he doesn't, because if he does succumb to it, then man, that's going to be really bad for the U.S. as a whole. A lot of people are going to be really sad, and it's that would be brutal. I think he'll pull through. I think he'll make it. Yeah, when there were wonders, I did review Falling Sky too. It's in the channel. If you want to hear my thoughts on Falling Skies, the reviews are still in the channel. Just do a search for it in the channel. You'll find them. How you doing, Skylar? I'm doing good. Thanks. How many seasons left for Fear, Gross? We don't know exactly how many seasons are going to be left for Fear the Walking Dead. Maybe 2, maybe 3. After that, I don't think we can say, but maybe 2 or 3. Granted, you got to keep in mind that after they do Fear, they can sell it to, I think it was Hulu or one of the streaming services after that. So it might be highly profitable for them to do that if they're getting a good rub from Hulu or whoever's buying it online. They can sell it to them. So for streaming. So, maybe it will continue even longer than that, because if they keep selling it to Hulu or whoever and they get a good payday from that, then who knows? Maybe Fear could last several more years. I haven't seen the numbers. I don't know what the numbers look like, but I hope it'll continue for a couple more years. That's the best I can do right now. How many more years left of Walking Dead, Jacob? 2 years left. This year coming up, 6 episodes, and then the 24 episode starts a year from now, runs to the next year. So about 2 years from now is when it should wrap up by. It should finish off about 2 years from now. Yeah, and then that's it. That's all she wrote for Walking Dead. Yep, that's it. Alien Walking Dead. Yeah, zombies in space. Yeah, I haven't done that. Dark Skies was a great alien show. Yeah, Jeffrey Lane. Yeah, I like some of the different alien shows. Reminds me of like Willie Strieber, Communion, that kind of stuff. As they create their new religion, right? Kind of cool. I just thought of that the other day. I was like, communion. Yeah, kind of interesting, right? It's like a religion. It's like aliens and UFOs it's like a religion. It's part of a religion now, I think. Really, I do think so. The Simpsons never lie, fake or real. Yeah, I like The Simpsons, man. The Simpsons are fun. There's part of The Simpsons where actually I think there's a bacteria or virus thing, and it zooms in on The Simpsons. And I forget who says it, if it's Smithers or somebody else, but it says Freemasons run the country, just like that. Freemasons run the country. So that's kind of a cool one if you've ever seen that one. A lot of people have used that online over the years. But yeah, Simpsons is really cool for sure. Okay, what do we got? It's a documentary series. Hellier, I haven't seen that when they were wonders. I have not seen Hellier. Do I like video games? Yeah, I like video games, Cam, for sure. There's never really been a great Walking Dead video game, I feel like. Well, the Telltale series was great in its own right. But I mean, we've never had like a really awesome Walking Dead game with the characters from the TV series, like a fighting game or something like that. I would love to see that. Something like that would be so cool, like a Mortal Kombat Walking Dead version or something. You can add in some zombies and play as Maggie or Rick or Negan or Glenn or any of the others. That would be so cool. So I'd love to see that. Something like that would be sweet. So Left 4 Dead is a good zombie game, says Jeffrey. Yeah, I imagine it is. Okay, let me look for any other Walking Dead comments. That I did have some prepped. I guess we'll go through that. Giga Death says, Trev, have you ever thought about doing DMT or shrooms? I don't want to, Giga, because my understanding of DMT and shrooms is that you're opening yourself up and you don't know what kind of entities could communicate with you when you're on DMT or when you're on shrooms. You could be interfacing with, maybe you interface with good entities and you interface with, I don't know, elves or, something like this, which are friendly and happy. But a lot of times it seems when people do these types of substances, they can interact with demons as well, so I'm sort of a purist in that I don't do that because I'm worried that I would be interacting with entities that I'm not supposed to be interacting with. So that's kind of my take on that, is that I don't do it because you don't know what you would be interacting with, or maybe you're just scrambling your brain, right? If you go the cognitive science approach to it, you're just scrambling your sensory input is all you're doing. But if you want to go with the metaphysical, taking into account that there's other realities or there's other, you could look at it from a heaven hell type of ether, the world of the those that aren't alive, another world. If you take it to that, then if that's the case, you don't know what kind of entities you're interfacing with. You're either just scrambling your sensory input with psychedelics, or you're interfacing with entities on the other side, and you don't know if they're good entities or bad, heaven, hell, whatever. And my understanding of that is from a biblical perspective. I don't think you're supposed to do that, are you? I don't know. I'd have to look into that more and see if it's okay or not. Clockwork elves, right? That kind of thing. Alex Jones and Joe Rogan. Well, Alex Jones, Black Jesus, has said that his thoughts are similar to mine. Me and him actually are similar in a lot of ways, but his thoughts are similar to mine, which is that he doesn't do it because you're interacting with demons, he believes, which fair enough. There are a lot of ancient cultures and ancient people that have done the sacrifice to their gods type of thing. So sacrificing to gods or taking psychedelics and then being told by those entities to offer a sacrifice to these entities. So that's why I don't typically do it, because I don't do it. So Green Av said, hell no. So what are you saying hell no for, Green Av, about shrooms or that kind of stuff? Like a bad trip type of deal, which would be bad? Or were you saying hell no to something we were talking about before? Follow that one up with a comment. Andy Puga says, Trump train, Trump train, Trump. Kill, says Bobby A. Are the whispers completely gone, Josh? Yeah, my understanding, Josh, is the whispers are completely finished. They're completely done. So that's it for the whispers. They had their time. They're finished off. And whispers are done in Walking Dead. Yep, that's it for them. So Black Jesus said, I think it's releasing DMT at a really high potency while you're awake. So you're basically dreaming while you're awake, since those don't release when awake normally. I don't know about elves. So yeah, that's kind of the cognitive psychology type of take on it, is that you're either scrambling your sensory input and detecting things that aren't there, or you're entering a dream state. But that's from a lot of my research into the occult and into secret societies and the people that rule this place. From what I can tell, people in those societies do believe that you are actually interfacing with extra dimensional gods or demigods or beings of some kind, whether it be Moloch, your owl god, or it be any of the other. Take your pick, of whatever kind of entity. There's some secret society out there that either worships, pays homage to, does mock sacrifices for, and believes in. So it's a good question. You can go into Crowley with Iwas and that kind of stuff and read about that if you want. That's up to you. But from my understanding, it seems to me that you might be interfacing with more likely those below than above, okay, in my estimation, in my mind. So a lot of times you're interfacing with, if you have visitation, if you take DMT and you're interfacing with the spirit realm, a lot of times you might be interfacing with spirits that are not always good. So that would be my hesitation to do it, myself, to say. Zach Bates said, Trev, do you think Elizabeth's daughter will be similar to Alpha Lydia and is forced to fight, but will eventually betray her mother in order to help the survivors in World Beyond? So, yeah, that's true. She did mention her daughter too, right? So they could develop based on that. Maybe she'll be similar and rebel against her mother too. And maybe Elizabeth will be sort of like an Alpha with a Lydia situation. That could be cool. I would like to see that. Where's Herschel? Yeah, yeah, that's true. Angela, did Maggie bring Herschel with her? We didn't get to see Herschel, did we? That's a good point. Maybe they haven't cast the actor yet who's going to play Herschel, so maybe we'll see that soon. Okay, Jacob asked, who exactly is the pyramid? And Red Pill us. Who is the pyramid? Well, it depends who you ask. I'm sure Alex Jones would answer it his way. Dr. John Coleman says it's the Committee of 300. Do you want to go through some of the names of who are the rulers or the people at the top? There's Kissinger right there. So he's one. Henry Kissinger, IIRA. So you have him. Who are the others at the top of the pyramid? He's got 300 names here. We did earlier. We said the Queen. We said a lot of royalty, a lot of the heavy duty bankers, which would be your Red Shields and others, paid homage to in The Simpsons. As I've said many times, Mr. Burns is Jake, Baron Rothschild. So you have him, her Royal Highness Princess Beatrix, her Royal Highness Queen Margareta. This is his list. Mine is more like the families of the 13, but you also have to consider Prince Charles probably should be in there somewhere, at least accounted for. Let's see who he has. Now, this I think was in around the 90s or so for the Committee of 300. Let's see if we got any good names here. Duke of Alba, Lord Aldington, Professor T.E. Allibone, Charles A. Anderson, Dwayne Andreas, Robert O. Anderson. This is in the A's. Oh, here we got an Astor, which is one of the family names of the 13. John Jacob and successor Waldorf Astor, Paul Austin, Arthur Balfour, which was the Balfour Declaration, which created the country of Israel. If you guys haven't researched that, that's how Israel was created. Arthur Balfour and the Lord Rothschild at the time created the country of Israel, right? You got to go through that. That's not a theory, by the way. They did that. It's on Google. It's a fact. They created that whole country just because they just did this, and they created the whole country. And now there's almost 9 million people who live there. Who else we got here? Sir Peter Bexendel, Princess Beatrice of Savoy, Sir Harold Beeley, John W. Bennett, Lord Nicholas Bethel. Let's see, a lot of names, but, ruling the world ain't easy. George Bush. So George Bush is there. It doesn't say senior or junior. I mean, I guess both would really be in and around. Doesn't matter. Bundy, some of the Bundys, William Bundy, Warren Buffett. There's one. You guys all know Warren Buffett, right? He's a 33, illuminated probably now. And there's pictures of Warren Buffett with Jacob Rothschild and Arnold Schwarzenegger. So there you go. I guess when you're Arnold, you get to meet the ruler. You get to meet the rulers, right? So Lord Cato, Duke of Devonshire. Who else we got here? Winston Churchill that would have been before. He's dead now, isn't he? I have to look at it. Yeah, I would think so. I don't know some of the names. Let's see here. Okay. Sir Percy Cox. Okay. We're in the D's. Dirk D. Brunnen. Sir Philip de Zuetta. There's a Sir Henry de Turding. Sir Eric Drake. Okay, DuPont, right? The DuPonts. That's another family name that's heavy duty. We're talking about the power elite here. You want to know who the Illuminati is? Basically, this is extended, but pretty much this is a list according to the good doctor. The Duke of Gloucester, Lord Gladstone. I'm just checking for names here. I said Kissinger earlier, right? Let's see who else we got. Paul G. Hoffman. Of course, the Rockefellers would be in here too. It'd be the junior now for David. Okay, let's see. Any cool names here? Royalty, stuff like that. Harold Macmillan. Okay, let's see who else. Okay, Rudolph Peterson. I'm just trying to grab names that you would know, like people would know. David Rockefeller, which would be junior now. Cecil John Rhodes. Lord John Russell. Yeah, Sir Bertrand Russell. Right, the Russells. They're another key one there of the names. George Schultz, E. Schwarzenberg, Walter Sheridan, Spellman, Robert Sproul. Okay, George Steiger. Designate Price Waterhouse, Prince Rainier, John Jacob Raskob, and then I mentioned the Queen before. And I mentioned Prince Charles. Who else? Lord Strathmore, Maurice Strong, Sutherland. Let's see. William Boyce Thompson, Ted Turner. Ted Turner started CNN, WCW, NWO. Ted Turner. There you go. He's another billionaire, right? So Vanderbilt. That's like Cooper, Anderson Cooper, Vanderbilt, right? Lord Emil Vester or Vesti. Peter, family designate Wallenberg. And we're into the W's. Thomas Watson, Earl Warren, and Owen Young is the last name on the list. Sir Isaac Wolfston, yeah, and a lot of the others. So that's his list for some of the people. Obviously, there's more people than just that, but those are the names he lists as past and present members of the committee of 300. So that's one committee. But obviously, there's lots of committees. There's a Council on Foreign Relations. There's Trilateral Commission. He even calls out the Royal Institute of International Affairs. There's Tavistock, United Nations. And then you have your media complex as well with your Masonic people, which is connected into it as well, which is your Tonight shows and your mainstream media shows. It's like when people, they want to learn about conspiracy stuff and they turn on Netflix. It's like, guys, I got to tell you something. You're not going to get any good information out of Netflix. If you watch Masonic programming from Netflix, you think you're going to get truth in that? You're not going to get almost any truth in that. Hardly at all. Maybe like Filthy Money with Epstein, you get a little bit of truth and get a little bit of background around some of it. But it's like, they're never going to say a conspiracy is correct on Netflix. It ain't going to happen. So people keep going to the wrong sources looking for truth information. It's like, no, if you want to know truth, you actually have to buy books. You actually have to read. You actually have to go online and dig and try to find what makes sense to you and what sounds right. You're not going to get it from Freemasons. They're not going to tell you. Like Anderson Cooper. People think Anderson Cooper is going to give them the truth. It's hilarious, man. It's like, yeah, that's not going to work, dude. You're not going to get truth from him. That's not how it works. Great Till Death says, Walking Dead finale, and you're reading random names. He must have just joined, and he doesn't know what we're doing. So I was answering a question. Well, this is basically what this is that this is not, none of this is bullshit. This is legitimate, stuff here that we're talking about. But it's whatever you guys want to get into. If you guys want to talk Walking Dead, send me Walking Dead questions. We'll talk Walking Dead. If you want to talk other stuff, we can talk other stuff. If you don't want to know anything about it, that's fine. I understand. That's cool. So, but okay, let's grab a Walking Dead question to balance it out, like the Masons would want to say, right? A balance. Like any live stream, Angela. What, I don't know who that is. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. Oh, right, he's replying to her, right? Okay. So, okay, what else we got here? All right. Any Walking Dead stuff? Okay. Black had said, Black Jesus has said, good direction to take the channel and post Walking Dead. Nevertheless, well, thank you, man. I'm glad you enjoy it. Great doesn't like it. So, and I get that. A lot of people don't like it. So I understand that. Maybe they watch a lot of Netflix shows about this stuff, and so they got that angle, and they don't understand that those programs are kind of put there on purpose to control the way you think. Right? They don't get that. So that's why they don't know. Okay, the whisper is completely gone. Yep, they are. And I think that's it. Green Ab, you said hell no, and you didn't follow up after that with that one after. Okay. Yeah, Diego said, Trev, the word Lucifer is Greek word meaning bearer of the light, which the fallen were. Yeah, that's in the Walking Dead song, the Marilyn Manson song with Norman Reedus. One of the first lyrics is about the fallen, right? And so that's what he's referring to. He calls himself Antichrist Superstar, that kind of stuff. So that's the fallen as well too. Same concept. So yeah, it's okay, Create. I understand if you don't like it. You might want to leave at some point. That's fine. No problem, man. Thanks for your years of support. Take care of yourself if that's what you want to do. I'm just going to talk about whatever we want to talk about. It's a live stream, so that's what we're doing. So the review's in the channel. If you want to watch the review of the episode's there. If you want to watch the review of World Beyond, it's there. So I stayed up late last night doing those. This one's a live stream. We talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Basically, that's what we do. And The Walking Dead's going into its New World Order storyline right now with the Commonwealth coming in. So that's why the crossover. That's why New World Order stuff. Yeah, if you don't like it, I understand. But send me a Walking Dead question if you want to. We do talk about Walking Dead, but with live streams, we go for a few hours. So there's Walking Dead in there, and then there's other stuff in there too, based on whatever anyone asks me. Is Tiger King Masonic? I don't know. That one I don't know about. So yeah, obviously a lot of it's just pure entertainment. I'm referring more to the series they post, like Conspiracy and stuff like that, where they basically never go against the grain ever, which you can expect to be the case. So I did prep some Walking Dead stuff before, I think. A lot of it was from World Beyond. So why don't I go to that? Angela, no, I'm not doing that. That's not cool. Okay. Fordis House says, will you cover the Last of Us TV series when that comes out? So yeah, probably. I did a video for that already when they announced it. Most likely, but I don't know about the future of the channel with you guys. It's very uncertain right now. I did get in trouble earlier this year, and I'm not going to get into details, but I did get in serious trouble. And I told you guys many times this stuff is not a joke, but I don't know about the future of the channel, guys. What we're going to do. Walking Dead's got 2 years left. It's going to wrap. I'd like to do some more stuff after that, but we'll see. This is a lot of work to do this. Like this week will be, because I watched all the episodes and my day job on top of that and all the videos we made, including this, if you tally the hours, it's probably 60 hours or so. So I don't know. I'd like to try reviewing different series and do different stuff like that. But it's also possible at some point the channel just gets deleted and shut down. That's also possible too. I wouldn't say that's out of the realm of possibility. But, so I'd like to continue with you guys. I'd like to review the other series. I want to review The Boys still. But yeah, we'll have to see what works in time, and maybe not everyone's going to like it. After Walking Dead ends in 2 years, maybe a lot of people won't want to stay subscribed, or they won't want to watch after that. And then I have to just decide if I'm going to keep doing it, or if I'm going to review other series and do other series. Maybe I will, or if I might have to, call it a day at some point. That's okay too if I have to do that. I don't want to get myself in too much trouble, or have federal cases open against me and shit like that. So we'll have to see what happens. But the future for this channel, very uncertain right now. I don't know. I'm not in trouble now, which is good. I'm out of trouble now. But, it's, if I can't do what I want to do, then I might not do it. So we'll see. We'll see what that happens in the future. Yeah, the thing, Rams, is I can make a website. But after doing this online here with the channel for the 12 years, I don't really have the gumption to switch like that and to try to rebuild from over again to start again. Maybe I could, but yeah, that would be that. Yeah, I'm not going to be selling it black ever or anything like that. I'll never do that. I'll never do anything like that. So let's see. They will think the new spinoff was boring. Yeah, it was a little bit boring. I used that in the thumbnail. I just put it right there to say it's boring. So, yeah, they didn't show who the masked ninja is. Great, that's true. Even till the end. Well, I was kind of right with my prediction on that one, that I thought it would be somebody from Maggie's community as Maggie comes in to save. So we were kind of right as far as that goes. But it could be like their version of Mercer, or it could be just a new character entirely. It'll also be interesting to see where the group goes now in those 6 episodes next year. Will they go join Maggie's community? Will they go back to Alexandria and fix it up? The hilltop is basically burnt down or lost now, so I assume they'll just let that go. But it'd be kind of cool if they left Alexandria and they went to Maggie's new group. But maybe Alexandria is a better place to stay because it's fortified with solid walls and everything. Maybe it's better than the group that Maggie was at, but I guess we'll have to see if that ends up being the case or not. Okay, so when there were wonders, said Trev, I never read forward on the comics because I didn't want to be spoiled on the show. Do you recommend reading ahead? Yeah, finish it up, man. Because we only have a little bit left anyway, and you might as well read the rest of the comics, see how the comics end, and then you'll get to see the TV series end, and you can kind of compare and say which one you like better. So that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, Blitz, have I ever experimented with any recreational drugs? No, not really. I haven't really experimented with any drugs. Yeah, no, not really. Caffeine, I drink a lot of caffeine so I can work and stuff, but nothing else. Okay, I think I did prep some. Is Elon Musk to be trusted, Crusher? No. No, not even close. Wasn't his grandfather he was in Canada, right? His grandfather was what was he into? Was he into eugenics too? I have to look, or technocratic society or something like that. He was in one of those. He's from another bloodline. So Elon Musk is not just a regular guy. He's from another bloodline. Jacob, is space fake? Probably. Yeah, actually, I think it probably is. Yeah. Our understanding of it's probably fake. Yeah. And that's unfortunate because it really sucks because I like outer space. I think it's cool. And I really do want to believe people go there and we do all that stuff. But there's so much fakery. It's unbelievable. It's unfathomable. So I don't know if our understanding of outer space is correct at all. I don't know if any people have ever gone in outer space at all. Maybe we haven't. That's a reality that after you do enough research, you start to realize, like, holy shit, has anybody gone in space, like, at all? Maybe bots, but have people ever gone? Maybe we can't. Maybe we can't at all, or we'll die. Maybe that's why it's fake X. Yeah, SpaceX is fake X. Yeah, yeah. No, it is. That's true. It really is, actually. Lizards control the world now. I don't know about that one. I'm not on board with that one. I just think they're jerks. That's all. But there certainly are people in control. That's for certain. Just listen to some of Prince Charles's, talks, and you'll see that that's the case. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. So we're going at 2 hours. We're still rolling. I'm getting tired though. But ever heard of Jordan Maxwell? Yes, Jacob. I'm well familiar with Jordan Maxwell. Somebody said in a video that he became a Mason at some point. So Jordan Maxwell, he's older now. He's in his older age now. But somebody online claims that they talked to him and they said that he had to become a Mason at some point and kind of sign over. So I don't know if that's true or not. But it's sort of like the protection racket, like the mob sort of runs. Like if you become a pain in the ass too much, then you kind of get pushed for your own security into joining. Sometimes that's kind of the way that goes. So Jordan Maxwell could be one of those where he kind of got an offer he couldn't refuse and he had to take it. I don't fault the man if that's true, but he's very smart, obviously. He's very good with language, I think, which is really good, very useful, and a very smart guy, kind of a legend in the truther type space. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Huma, right. So the other planets do seem to be. Now, is the Earth or is it not? I'll go into it some more. We'll keep it separate. We'll do whole videos for that because a lot of people hate it. So that's what we'll do for that. We'll go into that more later. Trev, what do you think about Sitchin? I don't put any credence into any of his stuff at all. I think Zachariah Sitchin is just a whatever. Yeah, it's just whatever. I just think he was making stuff up pretty much. Probably more like a salesman, I think, than anything else, really. Yeah. Yeah, basically making stuff up pretty much. C. Benny says Lauren Cohen was just on Talking. Who was on Talking Dead tonight? Was it Maggie and Daryl, and who else was on? Yeah, Maxwell is absolutely OG. I do understand if he had to become a Freemason. I do understand, because it's like if you have family or you have stuff to lose, I get it. I understand why people do it. I understand why they bend the knee sometimes. I get it. I don't hate them for it. I understand. Omicron says, by the way, I was a Mason for 5 years. I kind of stepped away for a bit until I showed up one meeting and seen a sign for CHIP, Child Identification Program. So I don't know if I want to comment on that one at all, man. That's tricky territory. But if you're a Mason, that's cool. Omicron, I got a good number of them that are. I got like 10 or 20 now. I'm keeping track. So you might be close to 20 or something. I don't know. It's somewhere around there, somewhere around 15 to 20 Mason subscribers. So that's cool. I don't hate the Masons. It's just different. It's different factions. It's different groups. Maybe they're smart to be in that club because then, I don't know, maybe they get a leg up in the future as things change and they get a good shake. I don't know, better shake than everyone else. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I did prep some Walking Dead stuff, and people are asking for more Walking Dead, so we'll try to do that. Some of the comments from earlier, and we're going on about 2 hours, so I got to wrap soon here. But so was it worth the wait? Was the hype worth the wait? 239 PU said, the hype this episode was a letdown. It was rushed and not worth the months of waiting. And the biggest disappointment was the anticlimactic beta fight. It was so anticipated for an epic fight between him and Negan. Then Daryl comes in and ends it in 5 seconds. Probably the worst episode for the season. So that was 239 PU who said that, did not like how fast the beta fight was. CGC Central HD said, how does Ron and Carl get a better fight than Negan, Daryl, and Beta? That shit literally lasted 5 seconds, not to mention early reviewers hyped that shit up. That would be like Rick not fighting Negan at all in season 8. and when they do, one of them gets pushed over, and that's it. This Whisper War barely felt like a war. We had one 5 to 10 minute battle, and that was it. They skipped half of that, by the way. Okay, I think I'm pretty much spent for tonight, guys. So my voice is starting to lose it. That's over 2 hours. Plus the review is in the channel earlier. And on top of that, there's the review for World Beyond. So, yeah, sorry, Angela, my voice, I'm starting to lose it. So we should wrap up, man. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining me so much tonight. I hope you guys have an awesome night. And check out the review if you didn't see it earlier. Check out the review for World Beyond if you want to see that. And I'll have a new video for you guys probably in a couple of days. So, yeah, Jordan Maxwell predicted an October event. Yeah, I know, a major October event. So I don't know. Maybe he's not, Jacob. Well, he is. He's obviously a very smart man. I like him a lot. I like Jordan Maxwell a lot. He's a good guy, it seems like. And he's OG, so absolutely very cool. That'll be it for this video tonight, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed the Walking Dead finale, and I'll see you guys back again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. Have a good night. See you soon.